Rufus just changed the game when installing Windows 10 and 11 with its latest update.
How terrible Microsoft has kind of become with their Windows stuff.
Microsoft knows just how bad Windows has become and how almost all of their users hate all the AI crap in it.
But seeing one colossal failure after another, it's starting to feel like the year of Windows humiliation.
Microsoft just watched one of its most carefully constructed user experiences get completely dismantled by a file smaller than most smartphone photos. And the tech world is paying close attention to every detail of what happened. Rufus, a free open-source tool that has been quietly essential to IT professionals for years, released version 4.14 and used it to surgically remove Teams, OneDrive, Copilot, Candy Crush, and every other piece of unrequested software. Microsoft bundles into Windows 11 before any of it ever reaches a hard drive. The update strips Microsoft's bloated setup process down to its functional core, bypasses hardware checks that locked out millions of perfectly capable machines, and installs Windows cleanly and automatically without a single forced prompt along the way. IT professionals and home users who have spent years tolerating Microsoft's installation experience are watching this play out with the satisfaction of people who have been waiting a long time for exactly this moment. A trillion-dollar corporation just got outmaneuvered by a 1.9 megabyte file, and the silence from Redmond is
Zero
deafening.
mercy.
Released on April the 30th, 2026, this update isn't just a patch. It's a major quality of life upgrade that transforms Rufus from a simple USB creator into a fully customizable Windows deployment tool.
The numbers that frame this story are almost too stark to sit comfortably. A free, open-source utility weighing 1.9 megabytes has accomplished what Microsoft, with all of its engineering resources and market dominance, declined to offer its own users for years. Windows 11 ships carrying a payload of unwanted applications, background telemetry running continuously, and a setup process architecturally designed to push users toward creating a Microsoft account before they can access the machine they just purchased. Rufus 4.14, released on April 30th, 2026, removes all of it before the installation begins. The bloatware never arrives. The forced prompts never appear. The telemetry pipeline never gets established. What installs on the machine is Windows, and only Windows, configured according to what the user actually wants rather than what Microsoft's revenue strategy prefers.
If you don't know, Rufus is a free open source utility that lets you create bootable USB drives from ISO images. It's the go-to tool for installing Windows and Linux, running firmware updates, or working on machines with no operating systems at all.
For anyone encountering Rufus for the first time through this story, understanding what the tool fundamentally does provides important context for appreciating why version 4.14 matters as much as it does. Rufus creates bootable USB drives from ISO image files, which makes it the tool of choice for installing Windows, Linux distributions, or any other operating system on a machine that needs one. It handles firmware updates. It revives computers that have lost their operating system entirely. It requires no installation, generates no background processes, sends no data anywhere, demands no account, and weighs almost nothing. You download it, run it, and it does exactly what it promises. That combination of reliability and simplicity is why it spread so thoroughly through IT departments and home user communities worldwide, long before version 4.14 gave it capabilities that make Microsoft's own deployment tools look like an afterthought by comparison.
First, Microsoft was stopping people from installing local accounts. Now, they're working to stop those deplorables from even downloading their operating system. In what looks to be a coordinated effort by the Gates goons, not in the antibiotic way, a bunch of users are getting locked out of their ability to download the ISO that allows them to install Windows 11.
The feature
generating the most intense conversation is automatic bloatware removal embedded directly into the installation process. Before version 4.14 arrived, anyone setting up a Windows 11 machine faced a choice that was not really a choice. Accept the operating system exactly as Microsoft packaged it, complete with Teams, Outlook, OneDrive, Copilot, Candy Crush. in a rotating collection of other applications that arrived without invitation. Or spend the first hour after every fresh installation manually hunting through app lists and settings menus to remove everything that should not have been there in the first place. Across millions of installations, that second option has consumed an extraordinary amount of collective human time dedicated entirely to undoing decisions Microsoft made on behalf of users who never asked for them.
Specifically, the developers of Rufus are saying that they can't directly download the insider preview of 11 through the app because they've been IP banned from doing so. And it appears that's how everyone else is being blocked out as well, through internet address isolation, which is why they think it's targeted rather than just a bug.
Rufus eliminates that entire ritual with a single checkbox selection during USB creation. One click applies every debloat and privacy configuration simultaneously, and the result is a Windows installation that arrives clean. Teams is gone. Outlook is gone. Copilot is gone. OneDrive is gone. Candy Crush is gone. The operating system installs without them. When Microsoft pushes updates later, those removed applications do not return. They stay gone. That last detail matters more than it might initially appear. One of the most reliably frustrating aspects of managing Windows across routine updates has been watching applications that users deliberately removed get silently reinstalled through patches that were nominally about security or system stability. Rufus 4.14 addresses that pattern at the installation level before it can be established. And the persistence of the removal is exactly what makes this feel like a fundamental shift rather than a temporary workaround.
Weeks ago.
So the new version of Rufus 4.14 beta release, which was released on April 21st, 2026, adds a new option to disable or remove pre-installed Microsoft apps such as Copilot, Teams, Outlook during the fresh install of Windows 11.
The privacy implications built into version 4.14 extend further than most coverage of the update has examined. Rufus disables telemetry, turns off data collection systems, and offers a complete offline installation path that requires no internet connection and no Microsoft account at any point in the process. Understanding why that matters requires understanding what Windows telemetry actually does during normal operation. By default, Windows continuously transmits information back to Microsoft while the machine is in use. Application usage patterns are logged and reported. Search behavior within the operating system is recorded. Crash reports, which contain considerably more contextual information than the name implies, are sent automatically. Behavioral data generated through normal daily use flows into pipelines that inform Microsoft's advertising operations and product development decisions.
Windows 11 from start to finish without any clicks, with a local account completely clean and without having to answer those annoying questions that we all know from Microsoft Windows.
Microsoft describes all of this data collection as part of its commitment to improving the user experience, which is one way to frame a system where a personal computer performs ongoing reporting duties for a corporation in the background of everything its owner does. Rufus 4.14 shuts that pipeline down before Windows is even installed, establishing privacy as the default state rather than something users have to navigate settings menus to pursue after the fact. Regional configurations carry over automatically from the source machine during the Rufus setup process, meaning language preferences, time zone settings, and keyboard layouts transfer without any manual input from the user. The complete installation experience, from USB creation through first boot, was faster and cleaner than anything Microsoft's own official installation tooling has produced in the history of Windows. A 1.9 megabyte open source file built without a budget or a marketing team delivered a better Windows setup experience than the company that owns Windows? That gap is the story Microsoft does not have a good answer for.
Is the built-in setting to remove Microsoft Teams, Copilot, Outlook, OneDrive, and disabling fast startup prior to the installation. That's a huge deal, folks. Normally we have to use tools after the installation to remove all that junk.